Sometimes, after you've entered a pledge, you need to change it. Maybe someone is unable to make all of their payments due to a change in circumstances, or they want to defer some of the payments, or increase the amount. Or maybe you just need to correct a mistake. In this tutorial, we'll address all of these cases. We'll start with writing off part or all of a pledge. You should write off part or all of a pledge when someone is unable to make all the payments or wants to cancel the pledge. When you write off part or all of a pledge, you are reducing the size of the obligation. You do this by entering the amount that will remain unpaid in the write-off amount field. In the example shown here, the pledge is for $240. There is a balance of $80, which we're going to write off. Let's check the payment schedule. You can see there's still one outstanding payment for $80. To remove this obligation, we enter $80 in the write-off amount field. Now, let's look at the payment schedule again. ResultsPlus has removed the remaining payment. Click Save and Close on the ribbon when you're done. A few notes about writing off pledges. First, writing off pledges requires an extended user right. If you are unable to enter anything in the write-off amount field, talk to your system administrator. Don't change the amount of the pledge. When you enter a write-off amount, ResultsPlus will adjust the balance of the pledge and the payment schedule. This is the way the product was designed to work. You should defer one or more payments. When someone tells you that they're going to make all of their payments, they just want to move things out a bit. It's easy to defer pledge payments. This function is built right into the Payment Schedule tab. Let's say it's October, and the constituent who made this pledge is starting to think about the holidays. He'd like to skip the November and December payments and start paying off the pledge again starting in January. Let's look at the payment schedule. Note that there are 11 remaining payments, starting with November 2011 and ending with September 2012. We want to defer payments, move the whole schedule out, 2 months. To do that, we'll click the Defer Payment button. Note that the first payment has been moved out to December, and an additional payment has been added for October 2012. To bump the schedule out one more month, we need to select the first payment again. Otherwise, we'll be bumping out the last payment, which is currently selected. Now we'll click Defer Payment again. Now the first payment is scheduled for January, and an additional payment has been added for November 2012. We've bumped the schedule out 2 months. Click Save and Close on the ribbon when you're done. A note about deferring payments. If the pledge you are adjusting is a matched pledge, don't forget to make adjustments to the matching pledge as appropriate. If you have a donor who wants to increase their pledge, this is no problem. In this example, we have a pledge for $500. Let's say the donor wants to increase it to $1,000. Let's open the Payment Schedule tab. Note that there are 4 scheduled payments, each for $125. Now let's return to the General tab. First, we'll change the pledge amount from $500 to $1,000. Then, since the payments are quarterly and the total amount is $1,000, we'll increase the payment amount to $250. Let's open the Payment Schedule tab again. Note that the payment amounts have been increased to $250. If you want or need to change any of the individual payment dates or amounts, just select a payment and click the Edit Payment button on the toolbar. A note about increasing pledge amounts. If payments have already been made on the pledge you are increasing, you will have to click the Release Selected Pledge button on the Pledges tab before you can edit it. If you entered a pledge against the wrong constituent record or made another error that is difficult to recover from, you can delete a pledge. Deleting a pledge is as easy as looking it up from the constituent's record, selecting it, and clicking the Delete Pledge button. The only time it gets a little trickier is when one or more payments have been made on the pledge. In this case, you have to release the pledge first. For example, in the pledge record shown here, a payment has already been made. You can see this in the Amount of Pledge and Balance fields. Let's zoom in. Because the balance is lower than the pledge amount, you know that a payment has been made. Note also that the Amount of Pledge field is grayed out. It's unavailable for edit. The Delete Pledge button is also grayed out at the top of the pledges list. To delete this pledge, you need to release it first. Click the Release Selected Pledge button. Notice that a lot of the fields are now available, as is the Delete Pledge button. Let's delete the pledge. ResultsPlus will display a message confirming that you want to change any existing pledge payments to outright gifts, and then delete the pledge. Click the Delete Pledge button. Then click Save and Close on the ribbon when you're done. A note about deleting pledges. If the pledge you're deleting is matched by another pledge, don't forget to delete both pledges. Before you can delete the matching pledge, you may need to unhook it from the original pledge record. You can do this on the General tab of the original pledge record. This completes the tutorial on adjusting a pledge.